How you going, people? This is a good little case here from the Supreme Court. I'm kind of glad. Of course, the liberal press is reporting this as a smackdown to gay couples when it really isn't. Everyone remembers the case where the gay couple wanted a cake company to make them a gay cake, and the gay company was religious and said, "I don't believe in gay marriages, so I don't want to make a cake." And they sued, tried to put them out of business. And it went through several lower courts, and every lower court ruled with the gay people. And then when it went to the Supreme Court, it ruled with the cake baker. So the Supreme Court's the last court they can go to, and it wasn't a close decision. It was a 7-2 decision, which is odd in the Supreme Court, because normally the left always votes left, the right always votes left, and it's always a 5-4 split, 4-4 split, something like that. To have a 7-2 decision means that even a couple liberals voted across their party line, which the court should be doing. I mean, ideally, if the court were comprised of 9 super smart people who were really intelligent, they should always rule together because they should always agree with the outcome. But they don't, because it's politics. And people that say, why do you ever make everything politics? Why do you got to always politicize everything? Because politics rule the world. And when you don't get involved, you get bad decisions. This happens to be a good decision because it protects freedom of speech and a company's right to not necessarily be forced to do things they don't want to do. Now, business, where the business messed up on here is they said, we don't want to make it because of our religious beliefs. They weren't rude or disrespectful, but you have special class people, and I call special class gay, black, minority, Muslim, all the liberal voting special class people that want special rules for them and want to crap on everyone else's rights. In this case, the Supreme Court said, hey, the person who has religious rights in a place shouldn't have to be forced to make a cake. Now, they got into some art, and the cake was a piece of art, and you couldn't make Mozart paint something that he didn't want to paint. And I mean, I don't know about all that philosophical crap, but based on just the protecting freedoms and not allowing one class of people to stomp on another class, because all the other courts have allowed gay people to stomp on anybody with religious beliefs rights. That's the problem with liberalism. Every time they pass something in their favor, they stomp out other people's rights. When they pass, freedom of speech, and they should be able to go to a funeral of a military guy and piss on his grave, and nobody should be able to stop them, they don't realize that they're crapping on the family of that dead person and the dead person and the people that support vets. And liberalism is all about division. So in this case, Supreme Court rules 7-2 ruling. The cake company does not have to bake the cake. It's a good thing. I think businesses need to be smarter and not be running around saying, I don't want to do something because of my religious beliefs. They need to say, I have the right to refuse service. I don't want to do this. I don't have to tell you the reason. Go somewhere else and get your cake. As soon as you give somebody who's looking for a fight some kind of words, and that's why everybody wants to argue with cops and argue, because they know if they can get you to say one thing they can use against you, then you'll lose. And to err on the side of safety here, just say, I refuse the service to you. Go business elsewhere. I don't want your service. I don't have to explain to you it's because of religious, it's because you're not my religion, it's because, I like this cup. If a black-owned business don't want to serve white people, they should be able to say, you know what? I don't want your business. Get out. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if a white business doesn't want to serve black people, everybody would have a problem with that. But if a black business does it, I think people who run businesses ought to be able to run their business. It's a private entity. We don't need government coming in with their big boot, stepping on people's neck, saying, no. We're smarter. You're going to go by our rules, and our rules say, which all the lower courts did, said gay people are right and your religious freedom is wrong. And then when it got to the Supreme Court, they ruled 7-2. So good for the Supreme Court justices matter. bad decisions from the Supreme Court has a huge ripple effect across society, values, rules, the way things go. And you know what? I'm okay with this ruling. So, argue it out in the comments, but I think it's a good ruling. We'll end that there.